Hello, welcome to the Howler Mouse channel. I'm Howler Mouse. I am sitting here in stately Manor, and I've got two comic books before you, both signed by Jeff Smith at different times over my years of going to the cons and stuff, right? But and these issues in particular, it's one of the most finely crafted comics in my opinion. Like you would hand this out to other people to show them how to tell a story, how to immerse the reader into the book, right? It is full of tension and conflict. And what's great about it is the cover actually pertains to the story. It's as a reader and a voyeur, if you will, you are trapped in the woods in a lightning storm with the stupid rat creatures trying to take you down, to catch you. So anyway, again, as I've said, I'm Howler Mouse. 48 years of collecting comics, 15 years on YouTube. And for you 70% according to my analytics, 70% of you new reviewers are not subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. It's always appreciated. And if you do decide to subscribe, go ahead and hit that bell so you'll know when these videos are being put out, when I'm doing a live show, and all sorts of fun to be had. Because on this channel we actually read our comics, okay, and that's really just a joy, if you will, right? So anyway, when it comes to, I have a top 10 list that I made probably 14 years ago in the early days of YouTube. Everybody started doing their top 10 comics, and everyone was bringing out graded comics and value comics and stuff. And I was a little different. I did the top 10 stories, those top 10 comics that I think are just perfection for what a comic book can be and should be, and the craft and everything, right? And this is right there with it. I actually was able to talk to Jeff Smith. He was about to sign one of these books. We're not going to get this out because the silver inked signature will flake off. But anyway, he signed this, and right when he was about to sign it, I put my hand down and I've read thousands of comics, and this has to be one of the most finely crafted comics I've ever seen. And I went through why, told him a few things, and we ended up having a great talk. This was at Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina. And he told me how he had experimented with this one particular issue, and how he had shown it to, I don't know, some of his friends who make comics. I want to say he said Charles Vess and a couple other people. He had let them see it before he'd put it out. So what makes this so great, right? First of all, this is the original black and white. This is from 1994. And it's just a fantastic book through cartoon comics, right? And as you can see, if you've never read Bone should be on your shelf. This is one of the greats of comics ever. It is, I think there were 66 issues to make a complete story. All sorts of ways to collect this. But this is number 16, of course, by Jeff Smith. After being run out of Boneville, the three Bone cousins, Phone Bone, Phony Bone, and Smiley Bone, are separated and lost in a vast, uncharted desert. One by one, they find their way into a deep forested valley filled with wonderful and terrifying things. And Phone Bone here has turned around and has made friends, okay? But anyway, their adventures, instead of giving you a rundown of Bone, we're going to stick to this issue. Beautiful black and white. That's one of the things that works with this, right? The storytelling. Grandma, was it Rose or Thorn? Watch me go blank now. Have found in Bone and have found their way into a forest, being chased by the rat creatures, right? And that's what's so great about this, man. There's so much storytelling done through the pictures, and the longer that you sit down and you read this, you are immersed in there with them. The stakes are high, the tension is there, the thunder and the lightning really, to me, feels symbolic of the mood that's going on. Grandma is mad at Bone for even stirring all this up. They've been in hiding for months trying to protect people. We'll just leave it at that. I'll end up ruining the story if you've never read it. So we come through here, and the pacing is just perfect. The blacks, the idea that there's a storm going on. We travel with them. The patterns of the blacks are just so perfect. The lightning storms, every time there's lightning, the whole forest lights up. And that's what I absolutely love about this. Even though we have sound effects at times, boom, crack a boom, you reach a point with the repetition of the lightning to where you actually start hearing it. You can actually hear the rain around you hitting the leaves. Okay, I mean, as someone who has camped, who is ex-military, who has hiked, I know those sounds so well. I can actually smell that smell, of a rain in the forest and stuff. And I have been rained on while camping before. Okay, so as they go in there, everyone is trying to get through there. And we finally have some dialogue in the third years because they're trying to be quiet. Even though it's storming and raining, they're trying to be quiet because they're being pursued by rat creatures. Bone, get your head over there, over that tree, and take a look around. So we're with our innocent little characters. They've picked a spot. They're looking around. Grandma, do you think the rat creatures saw us? Maybe they don't know we're here. Oh, they know, and it won't be long before they find us either. I wish you two hadn't followed me out here. We were worried about you. That's enough. Why are you so mad? I don't want to hear another word out of you, Bone. This whole thing is your fault. Grandma, that's not true. Keep still, Thorn. Everything that's under control until he came to our valley and woke the dragons. And that's what I mean with this story. It's just the fantasy in it is so great. The influence of Carl Barks, the pacing, the Lord of the Rings fantasy feel, a little bit of it here and there, right? But anyway, we have confrontation that just reaches with the storm. Hold it. Get down. Rat creatures, I can tell you they're close. So they look around. There's some more dialogue. She's setting it down. She tells them to sit down, be quiet. She can move quieter by herself. She's going to go look around. And they're trying to figure out what's going on. This is the feeling of a little bit of innocence here, man. This is like two kids trying to be brave in the storm, and the grandma, their parents, their real protector, has gone. And right when they're telling each other to be brave and talk around, ba-boom, the lightning hits, scaring them to death. And where they're outside, they can feel it. A lightning storm inside your house versus outside your house are two very different things. You can feel that wind crack, the wind, the crack of the lightning, and the sound of the thunder. You can actually feel a little bit of pressure on you. And like they talk like little kids would do, come up with little rules and stare at the last place that you saw Grandma. And this is where we're immersed with it. Now we're over their shoulder. We've gone from looking at them to where we're hunkered down with them and we're seeing what they see. Just brilliant stuff. I keep thinking I see something, then it's nothing. Great panel work. And then finally they kind of see Grandma coming out of there. And they're moving this way. We can't outrun it. What are we going to do? And like I said, the conflict isn't just out there. They're fighting, Grandma's just had it with Bone, to make it even worse. So now they start moving through the forest to be very quiet. And we're back to that pitch black in the shadows. He's looking over his shoulder. He's just trying to move forward, not make a noise. And then he's like, oh my gosh, I think they see us. He sees the rat creatures below them. And they're trying to climb up and they're beside of him. They're everywhere. They're trying to eat him. They're having to fight him off. And he's yelling for a dragon to help him. Will the dragon come? The dragon doesn't know where they're at. And this is the page. This is the page as simple as it is. These 3 panels, this is everything, right? So they're hunkered down behind a tree. They're surrounded by the rat creatures. They're right there. And then all of a sudden, the lightning flashes for a second. And just for that very second, you see how screwed they are. I don't know any other way to say it. Okay? I would love to have something a little bit more poetic to say. And then we're back to black. You feel the rain. He can hear them crunching around him. Their footsteps are right there. This reminds me so much of the Lord of the Rings, where we have our hobbits hiding underneath that fallen tree, a hollowed out tree that's fell by the road. While they have the enemy looking over them and stuff, right? Anyway, so the rat creature sees them. The lightning crashes. He's like, oh no, he was just waiting for it. He was waiting to get ate, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. He was waiting to be grabbed. He was waiting for the conflict. They were found, and at the last minute, the dragon has come, okay, to save them. The lightning flashes. The lightning, it goes dark. The dragon, it's the dragon. I saw him. We're safe. He's like, get behind that tree. Grandma doesn't even like the dragon for reasons. We get a crack kaboom with the lightning, and then it's gone. And just for a moment, Grandma and the dragon lock eyes. Um, the dragon's a myth because there's so much more to Thorn and Grandma. That's what they're building up to. It's hooking the reader. Grandma, the dragon just saved our lives. Leave him alone. Grandma won't say anything. Grandma? Now she's stuck looking at him, much like they were looking into the dark trying to find her earlier in the issue. And when the lightning cracks, she's gone. I'm so tired. And she's telling them, don't count on the dragon. The dragon won't really be there when you need it. Believe me, I know. And then all of a sudden, a hand gets reached out, and Thorn touches Bone because they're starting to realize there's bigger things going on that's bothered Grandma. And now the storm has passed. It's over. And now they're just in the dark, and they have to carry forward. Let's go home. And then they see Grandma going on. This is one of the finest pieces of art that I think has ever been done in comics with the skill. I know we talk a lot about the way, you know, moving characters, revamping them, telling stories that really drag characters into the present. Dark Knight Returns, deconstructing heroes and doing things, and then there's just this great storytelling. And for me, anytime we're going to spend a little bit of time to read anything, um, it's really nice to see somebody has honed their craft to immerse you into a story. This is one of the things about reading comics that is so different from other mediums. You're really able to put yourself in a moment. Yes, that happens when you're reading books, but when you add that little visual there, where you set up panels where you're looking over the character's shoulders, or there's little tricks in here, that really put you in the story. All right, guys. And like I said, when that one rat creature was looking Bone in the face when the lightning, and then it was gone, there was a tension there, like, oh no, what's going to happen? They found him, just in time for the dragon to pop up. Anyway, you saw the same stuff I've seen. But anyway, this is Bone number 16, one of my favorite books. Okay, guys, give it a thumb up if you watched it all the way through and you liked what you saw here. Give it a give it a share if you would like. Let people know there's many of us out here who are reading their comics and just enjoying them. Everybody be excellent to each other, and till next time.